damage to the company because you're leaning back on your chair.
Well, look, man's going to be comfortable, and let's be honest, Radio Mike has been paying for our mistakes for months.
And you know,
why stop now?
You know what? I've been watching some of the videos. So some of like the big drive and breakfast shows go out of that same studio.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of the videos, and they're right. It's just not on. Like it's just broken in the background of all the videos from those shows.
I'd like to make a formal apology to the breakfast show on Fox, the drive show on Fox, and every other show on Fox. My bad.
We just had Hamish Blake in here. Perhaps we need to get Dave Hughes on the line so you can formally apologise.
Sorry, Hughesy. I hope you don't lose it. Today, we're doing this.
Big stories, breaking news, Simo's weekly wrap.
I'll have a beer for you.
That's right. It's time
Every
for
week you
Simo's.
talk over his catchphrase. The disrespect.
My apologies, Simo.
Yes.
I won't talk over
He's
it.
trying to have a beer for us, and you keep
Sorry.
stopping his
I'd
alcoholism.
like to issue a formal apology to our modern digital mate for talking over his classic catchphrase that we all know and love.
Yes. Now,
I'll have a beer for you.
correct. Now, every Friday we get Simo's weekly wrap. Last week we were deprived of Simo. We got my brother Jack, who
Yes.
he at the time was having an ongoing
Well,
feud
look,
with Simo.
we weren't really deprived. We chose not to have Simo. because
Simo.
We thought Jack would be better. Your brother was talking a big game, said he would smash Simo, do a much better weekly wrap.
My brother said, I will bring better value and better content to the show. We were harshly mistaken.
Yes.
Simo is a lot better. Simo, welcome to the show.
Well. Look who came crawling back.
It's true, mate. I can't deny it.
We did.
We strayed, but will you please take us back? We made it. It was just one time. It was just a fling, and it was a horrible mistake.
And it will never happen again. Trust me.
Oh, fair enough. I'd just like to apologise to the listeners on behalf of you for making such a deplorable decision. And in fact, to make up for it, I've got some news from last week, which
Yeah.
were with a much better story than either of Jack.
Oh, okay.
Great.
So what
Good.
happened?
Oh, so you went ahead and so you've got news from this week, but also one from last week just to prove Jack wrong.
Look, when you're this good of a newsreader, the news finds you. You don't have to go looking for it.
Okay, hit us.
So last week, there was a dog. A lady was flying her dog between countries.
Yep.
And, you know, you've heard of bags getting lost in the air. Well, they lost the dog.
Right.
Yeah, and then when they finally tracked down the dog, they ended up flying this dog first class with an escort to where it was actually meant to be.
That's amazing.
One pampered pooch.
So, did the dog end up in a different country?
Yes, it did. It ended up, I don't know, for argument's sake, it started in Italy, it ended in Shanghai, but it was meant to go to Canada.
Right.
Jeez, you don't
So then
often
it
see
flew it
newsreaders
from
like
Shanghai to Canada.
you don't often see newsreaders like Peter Mitchell going, now for argument's sake, this is probably what happened.
I don't have any of the details, but I'm going to make it up so you can get the gist of the story.
It was
And
last
that's
week.
why
I'm
you
going
are the
off
best
last
on our
week's
show.
memory. That's it. You pay the big bucks to hear this stuff.
You know what? Now, that was probably better than anything Jack brought to the show last week
Yes.
because he didn't bring any animal-related news.
We love a good animal news story.
Well, you love a good animal news story. 95% of the news that Simo brings to the show is animal-related.
That's right.
Have you got any Homo
Here's one
sapien
coming
news?
up now. Yes, I do. So, to start off, a little bit of a warmer-upper.
Love a warmer upper.
If I say the name to you guys, Brian McGee, does that ring any bells?
No.
No.
Brian McFadden, yes. Brian McGee, no.
Fair enough. Well, are you guys fans of the popular TV show The Simpsons?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, you remember the episode where Homer reminisces about his first beer when I was 17?
Yes, I do.
So his fake ID there is Brian McGee. Now, what's happened in the UK, cops had like a booze bus set up going up. You know, they ask for your licence and that as you go through. Someone's whipped out a fake ID. No joke.
No.
Homer Simpson and a photo of a Matt Groening drawing of Homer Simpson.
As a joke, like just wanting to get
As a
busted.
legit thing. They got done for driving without a licence and they also had an unregistered car.
But he had a license. It's just Homer was on it.
And was the guy's real name Brian McGee?
No, I just
His
thought I'd
real
throw that
name
in there
was
to
probably
test your
Mick Lovin.
knowledge.
That would have been too good. But you know what? Really, I'm totally on board with that guy because if you're driving with no license, you're going to get the same penalty for having no license. So you might as well try out a job.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
At
Maybe,
least,
maybe if the cop laughs, he'll let
yeah.
you go.
You're like, oh, at least I might get in Simo's weekly rap, which is the ultimate goal for any criminal.
Absolutely.
All right. If that was your warmer-upper, I'm pretty excited for the big
Was that
headlines.
not all? Oh, I'm psyched now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is the big one.
Smash it out of the park, mate.
So, this is going to sound weird. Snip your finger.
All right.
Excellent. Love the enthusiasm and the sniff there. So, turns out in the UK, 1 in 8 people have cocaine residue on their fingers.
That's why
So
it was
how
such an
did it came
enthusiastic
out?
sniff.
Well, how this came out, a bus driver at a random drug test got done for having traces of cocaine on him, but he swore that he's never been anywhere near the stuff.
Right.
They did some research and they found out that every banknote in the UK is contaminated for 2 weeks after it's touched the substance.
Right.
Oh.
That's crazy.
And so to prove this guy's innocence, they did a lineup of 50 people and got them all to shake hands with someone, and a few of those people had cocaine residue on their hands. It turns out 13 of them, just from shaking hands with someone who'd been in contact, had the residue.
Wow.
Even after they washed their hands, still had the residue.
That's
That's
crazy.
a good one. That is
So
crazy.
if you're in the UK, go sniffing your fingers. You might get high if you're lucky.
Thank you very much. Simo, you might be modifying your classic catchphrase you ever go to the UK. Thanks for joining us, mate.
I believe you're about to head off to some after-work beers. Does that mean you're going to have one for us?
Oh, mate, I'll have a beer for you. I'll have a beer for Lewis. I'll even have a commiseration beer for Jack.
Glad there's no hard feelings, mate. Thanks for joining us on the show.
No worries. Thanks, listeners. This is Luke and Lewis with a little bit of Simo and Mike giggling in the background. I'll have a beer for you.
We didn't ask you to sign off to the song. We just said do your catchphrase.
I just assumed...
Nah,
this is
you're on a
part of my
power trip
re-signing
now. Hang
deal,
up on
you
him,
know?
Mike.
See you, mate. Luke and Lewis on Triple M Mono Digital. It's Muck Up Day, and we're joined by another special guest. Welcome to the show, Blake Everett.
Hi.
Blake Everett is a fellow stand-up comedian about to do the comedy festival.
Correct.
All these
So,
things are true
Yes,
so far.
they're all facts.
How am
and
I going?
got to say, it is an honour for you to have me here, especially after Hamish played.
You're headlining.
I am. I'm the headline.
Yes. You have seen on the whiteboard here that Hamish wasn't earlier, and you've gone, oh, great. It's good. It's good. It's good to know that Hamish is opening for you. Is
It's-
Hamish opening your show at the festival?
Andy
promise.
is.
Right.
Actually. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Well, you'd be dunking on them all night.
oh yeah, he's actually doing a basketball act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
actual dunking.
it's good.
and then I come out and hit him with a metaphorical dunk.
Because you can't physically dunk.
Like I'm 2 inches off the ring, like
Yeah.
not from my head. Like if I do a bit of it, I'm not a great jumper.
Yeah. It'd be hard to fit a full-size basketball ring in a comedy venue anyway.
It's next year. Okay, that was the idea for this show, and I thought logistically, I don't think I'm ready for a basketball ring
Yeah, very
themed
difficult.
comedy show.
I mean, when I did my first comedy festival venue, my head literally touched the roof.
oh wow.
Yeah, and there to the point where I worked it into my show.
point where you just couldn't dunk
yeah,
at all.
I know. Well, I didn't even fit in my own venue. I worked it into the show to the point where I would rub my forehead on the roof,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then I ended up leaving a sweaty stain, and it's still there to this day.
Sweat stain on the roof
What was the venue?
It was the downstairs
on Swanson Street.
on Swanson Street.
downstairs.
I don't think
Yeah.
they do comedy there anymore, but there's
Nice.
conference
Yeah,
rooms
because
now.
they're like, guys, we can't keep doing this. Too many sweat stains on the roof.
Bloody comedians keep rubbing their foreheads on the roof. How did we not see this coming?
Yeah.
I
So
remember another comedian scoped that venue out. I think it might have been Aaron Gox.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know he did a post in like the Melbourne comedy scene group saying, this venue, it's real cool, but probably be about 5 foot.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah,
gave it a
right.
shout out, but
Yeah, okay, so he acknowledged the height problem as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You're doing a show at the Tasma Terrace?
Yes, at the National Trust of Victoria.
What is that regularly? What's that building regularly used for
It's,
outside of Comedy Festival?
If you're trustworthy,
Yeah,
you're there.
you're there.
So,
So that's why you're doing your show there.
I'm a very trustworthy comedian.
So everything in your show is true? There's no jokes.
No. I don't know what the truth is anymore.
Well, that's good.
It's not. It's hard. Mum struggles. Anyway.
So what's the name of your show, Blake?
My show is called Unknown Comedian.
Right. Why have you called it Unknown Comedian?
Well, believe it or not, I'm not very known.
But,
Go on.
I mean, to the people now listening, kind of a bit of a weird name because now they know who you are.
Yes,
Have you ever thought of that?
spoiler.
Have you ever thought about that? Because it's great for people who have never heard of your show.
Yeah.
But as soon as they hear about your show and buy a ticket,
It's
the
a
name
lie.
is automatically redundant. I just
It's-
realised.
Yeah, no.
Because they know you.
It's actually, someone asked me the questions like, oh, does your show teach a lesson to the audience? And I said, ultimately, it teaches them who I am.
Yeah.
And that's
It
what I'm
teaches-
going for.
And
That's
that you're
good.
trustworthy.
Yeah. Also,
And that you can dunk. So there's
Yeah,
3
that's
great
it.
lessons to learn from Blake Everett's show this year.
my uncle actually got onto the Comedy Festival website and he saw the thing, Blake Everett, Unknown Comedian, and he just got really confused by it. He thought it was like the festival's description of my comedic status.
That would be really rude.
Yeah, what an insult.
Yeah, because
Like,
like-
but no credit to them. I'll take all the credit. Thank you very much.
So was he just like, hey, I'm sick of them racking on my nephew? Like,
Yeah.
it's Just,
Sent an email. Just,
Yeah.
hey, listen here.
I've
I
seen-
know him. Yeah.
I've seen him and he's very trustworthy. Now, Blake, do you want to stick around? I believe you're going to do a song for us.
Oh, yeah, we'll give it a go.
It's the Uni song. It's one of my favourites of yours.
Yes.
Stick around, and Blake Everett will be performing one of his greatest hits. I mean, you guys probably won't know it because he's a fairly unknown comedian.
Hey, it's got 25,000 views on Facebook.
Oh, well, you might actually.
Most of them are from my uncle.
See, that's fairly known.
That's pretty
That's-
known, mate. You're going to have to change it to known comedian.
Wow.
Depending on how the song goes next, we'll consider a name change.
Well, we'll regroup.
It's Luke and Lewis. Luke and Lewis on Triple M Modern Digital. It's still muck-up day, so we're getting all our mates on the radio. We're still joined by Blake Everett. Thanks for sticking with us, mate.
I tried to leave.
we locked the doors
Yeah.
and we bolted them and then,
Muck-up day, so we just thought we'd kidnap someone.
yeah,
Actually saw Hamish is in a box in the corner.
yeah.
Haven't
It's
let
a
him go.
Turn
classic.
his mic off.
It's a classic muck-up day prank.
Yeah.
Kidnap your friends, push them in a room, and lock the doors.
But you're here, Blake, to play us a song.
Yes, I am.
This is a song that will not be in this year's show, I believe.
We'll see.
It may be in this year's show, guys. If you want to hear a repeat,
If you think it is a greatest hit, like,
Yeah.
all the fans want it.
yeah.
Uncle's like, do the uni song. He loves it.
So what's the song about, or do you want to just get into it?
Yeah, the song I wrote this because I finished high school in 2015. I'm only 20 years old at the moment, and I decided that I didn't want to go to uni. I just wanted to focus on comedy.
Yeah.
Songs about.
We both made the same decision, which
Brilliant.
is why I thoroughly relate to this song. I
Yeah.
just don't have the talent to sing songs about that.
All right, take it away, Blake.
All right. Ashley's going to uni, doing a 3-year degree. She's doing something fancy like biochemistry. And Emily's going to uni, thinking she's real smart. She's living the vegan life, and of course she's studying art. Helena's going to uni, she wants to become a nurse. In other words, she wants to protest about the lack of cash in her purse. And PJ's going to uni, doing something I can't pronounce. I thought he'd keep working at Red Rooster and give me good discounts. And I'm not going to uni, I'm just doing comedy. I'll major in how to live with my mum and not make much money. That is a fact. Comedians don't make that much money. And yesterday, I had my life as I took another bite from my $10 box of 24 nuggets. Got them from McDonald's. They're quite nice, actually. And tomorrow, I know I feel real right, 'cause I'm feeling good inside, 'cause I'm doing what I love, and not because of the nuggets was actually a bad idea. I had diarrhea for 3 days. Yeah. Anyway, this next verse is about some people who didn't go to uni. Lockie's not going to uni. He's just sleeping in his bed, waking up from a big night out with a throbbing in his head. And Jason's not going to uni, he's just doing drugs. I saw him in Flagstaff Gardens, just giving out free hugs. And Amos isn't going to uni, but he's still doing well. He's going to TAFE, which I guess is good for a student who did VCAL. And Tony's not going to uni, he's just going to the gym. And Rosaline's working in a brothel, just going from rim to rim. Anal licking, okay. And I'm not going to uni. Oh, look. I'm not going to uni. I'm just making Lewis laugh. At least I'm not like David. He's living in the past. He's studying history at RMIT, and that's a fact. And oh, I know that things could be worse. I could be living in Perth. That would be worse. And one whole year might seem a little long to fill with funny words and songs. And now I've said it out loud, I kind of think it is. I probably should have gone to uni. This might not work out. Why'd it have to be while I was singing this song that I started to have my doubts? I probably should have gone to uni, but now it is too late. I guess I'll just go home and vigorously master. Kate, another $10 box of 24 nuggets like I mentioned earlier, and also probably wank a lot.
Thank you very much, Blake Everett.
Thank you.
Official first rim on the show.
Hey, you're welcome.
Guys, you can go get tickets to Blake Everett Show at comedyfestival.com.au. Search Blake Everett, and can recommend. I've seen it in years past, and it was great.
Thank you very much.
Highly recommend it.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for a boogie, go for a laugh. That's and a trustworthy guy.
Luke and Lewis.
Might meet his uncle.
Luke and Lewis on Triple M Bond and Digital. It is Muck Up Day. We did say before that Blake Everett was free to go. We lied. He's still in the studio because we locked the doors.
I'm in chains.
He stuck around.
Yeah. We want your opinion on something, Blake. It's Muck Up Day, but we've been struggling to find rules that we can break here at the radio station.
Yeah.
And really the only explicit rule is a big button that has a post-it note stuck over the top of it that says, "Do not touch." Now, what we're thinking of doing is touching that button, and we don't know what it does. It could demolish the building. It could do nothing.
Really don't want it to be the button that lets the sprinkler off in the building, and then like the fire alarm, and then we cause thousands of dollars of damage. Because Lewis has already caused thousands of dollars damage in the last week. He broke a TV.
Yes.
On our Sunday show, which you just found out before. He owes the company about $1,000.
I started Muck Up Day a little bit early and also without my own knowledge.
What if the button actually produces a new TV?
Then I think we have to press
Like,
it.
is it necessarily is it a bad post-it note, or
I
is
mean,
it a positive?
It's
like,
got
they're
thing
like,
is-
three exclamation
but the-
marks, which scares me.
But at the
Okay.
same time, it's a post-it note. They didn't even laminate it. It's not. I wouldn't call it
yeah.
a serious sign.
I mean, if the button does...
But yet the sign says seriously, do not touch.
yeah.
So it's hard to take it seriously because it's a post-it note, but at the same time, it
Says-
suggests you should take it seriously.
Seriously.
Could be saying that ironically, though, which is a classic motif of the post-it note, as we all know. But here's my logic behind it, Luke. I don't know if it would do something bad. Why would you install a button that exclusively produces bad results? Silly
But-
thing to
There you
spend
go.
money on.
Why would you cover up a button that exclusively produces good results? That button should be a free press for all.
Pressed all the time. Should say
If it-
seriously.
So I think they've accidentally installed the button in the building that they've gone, oh no, this produces some kind of bad
They
result.
tried to install a good button, but it came out bad when you pressed it. button glitch.
Have you ever thought that it's just the aircon? Like, have we considered this for a second?
Yeah, it could just be the air conditioner. Hey, don't touch it. We figured out the perfect temperature. Please don't touch.
No, well, I don't think it is, because the air conditioning, I know what the aircon looks like, and they're white.
You know what?
All we're going to do is just go press the button.
Let's press it. During the song, we're going to
so
press
nervous.
the button.
Like, should we do it?
I think you gotta.
We got
Yeah,
it.
we have to do it. We're going to do it during the song. We're going to record what happens.
Uh-oh.
And look, we might not come back. The building could explode, but we'll let you know. Luke and Lewis, still got Blake Freeman. We still got Blake Everett.
Freeman.
I'm sorry, that's
It's
another Blake.
comedian.
I'm gone. The chains are off.
My apologies, Blake, but you cannot leave as you are in stocks.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah.
Now, during the song,
Oh.
Yes.
we did it, guys.
We pressed the button.
The button has been pressed. We're still alive,
We're in shock,
which is good.
but it was a shocking result. I think there's a little bit of regret going through in the team. Maybe it wasn't the best idea. It was a big call, small push, big call.
We think, like, I know we were going to take 3 weeks of anyway, but I would like to say that we're taking the 3 weeks off now to rethink, perhaps,
What have we
this
done?
decision. Here is how it went. So this isn't us pressing the button, right? This is us approaching the button.
It's our last day at Triple M Modern Digital. We still work here at Fox, but it's our last day of Modern Digital for 3
For
weeks.
3 weeks. We're still coming back. Maybe
Yeah.
not after this. It says seriously do not touch.
Well,
It's not
there's-
a button.
There's a lot of buttons.
Oh, there's A. I just thought I thought that was a button. It's a knob.
It's a knob. Guys, shocking discovery. It's not a button. It's a knob.
The whole week we thought it was a button. Why does it say, do not press?
It's a
You
knob.
don't press a knob.
No, you twist a knob. Turn a knob.
What do they mean, do not press? There's nothing to press.
No, but the knob, Luke, interestingly enough, was surrounded by 6 buttons.
Maybe that's what we should. And
But
then
which one of those should we not press?
we decided, well, because then we realized that, oh my God, a knob usually means there's multiple things that could happen. If you're
Yeah.
twisting it between
So
different
many
options,
variables.
we were like, oh my God, so many things could happen. So then I guess there was nothing more to do than to twist the knob.
Oh, it's volume. It's just a radio.
It's the volume of the.
We built this up for a day.
Oh, maybe we could change it to triple. Right now it's on Triple M. Maybe we could change it to Modern Digital.
Well, this is a waste of time, guys.
The button does nothing. Right. Put it back on Triple M and get back to work.
Maybe they went, seriously don't touch it because it's a waste of time. Don't bother wasting your time on this and don't do a day of radio content.
I'm going to
around
put the
it.
note back. I think seriously don't touch it. Waste of time because it doesn't work. So there we go, guys. I know you're just as shocked as we are.
No one's shocked. No one's surprised.
Can I just say, I wish I left 2 segments ago.
Well, at least you haven't been listening to this for a day like the listeners have. Luke and Lewis. Guys, that brings us to the end of our final ever show ever.
Stop pretending to quit every Friday. Guys, we're going to be, like, every Friday you just pretend we're going to quit.
No, we're coming back.
We're coming back. Usually we're coming back on
taking
Monday.
a permanent hiatus for 3 weeks.
Indefinite hiatus.
Yeah.
Not permanent.
Yeah, well, they're semi, guys, we'll
Just
see
be
you
honest
soon.
with the people who listen to our show.
Okay, what's happening, guys, is we're taking a bit of a hiatus from Modern Digital, but
Permanently.
we're going to be staying on Fox
Yep.
every Sunday. Sorry. Ooh, there's the drop. It is Fist Bump Friday.
None
Blake,
of you were fist
Blake,
bumping.
yeah,
Sorry, I
you've gotta-
momentarily
you've
forgot.
gotta
You got a fist bump.
Fist bump
Thanks.
Fridays.
How do you feel?
I mean, you're just wiggling your fist.
It's a weak fist bump.
That's not a pump.
Mate,
It's a fist.
Hey, 2 things you need to know about me. I'm trustworthy and I've got weak wrists. Give me a break.
But that's a fist wobble.
Hey.
yeah, you know what, Blake? You're free to go. Okay, that's enough. That's the thing that got you freedom.
Can we talk about before Blake goes? We just realised how many Blakes we've been in the vicinity of
Yeah.
today. Hamish Blake came in earlier. Blake Everett has joined us. Our producer, he's not a producer of this show, but was hanging around James Blake. Too many Blakes.
I accidentally said the name of another comedian,
We
Blake
don't
Freeman.
Blake Freeman.
Yeah.
Too many Blakes.
Taking
guys.
over.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ooh,
Second
another
one,
drop.
which mean whenever we get to the second one, it just means it's time to wrap up, guys.
Yeah, guys, so we're going to be on break from Modern Digital for a while. We'll let you know if and when we're back, but we are still on Fox every single Sunday. So we'll talk to you then, guys. This is Luke and Lewis. That's the end of Muck Up Day.
Still better than Coles. The official slogan.
First there was Ben and Jerry. No, wait, that was Tom and Jerry. Then came the ice cream dudes. Anywho, fast forward a bit, and this is Luke and Lewis on Triple M Modern Digital.
It's Luke and Lewis on Triple M Modern Digital.
Mike
Once
was
again, Mike
screaming
is
again.
Screaming ice cream. Thanks, mate. Nice professional start to the show of just me laughing. Again.
He just knows that, like, the bosses don't hear our show. And just, like, would you do the same if you were, like, paneling, like, you're pushing the buttons for, like, a National Drive show? Would you be like, 3, 2, 1, mic's on, guys? Would you do that?
Well, it doesn't go to air, so yeah, of course.
Mate, no you wouldn't. Because
Right, so Mick Malloy's sitting in the studio and you'd just be screaming at the top of your lungs.
No, it depends on my rapport
Mick Malloy
with
would
the
like,
talent.
get out of the studio, you bloody grub.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't unless it was with you guys.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so great. It's great to see
But
you
you
treat our
shut
show with
up.
ultimate disrespect.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. We've got a great show coming up. Unless
We do.
Mike ruins it.
Well, that's true. We've got what we had planned a great show, but we, with the unpredictability of Mike behind the buttons,
Could
it
go
could
either
just
way.
be screaming for 2 hours. Today we attempt greatness, Lewis. We are attempting. When I say greatness, we are attempting something that I told my mum about, and she didn't seem overly impressed. I said, she was like, "What's on the show today?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to be hitting a balloon to each other for the entire show, playing keep-ups with a balloon."
Wait,
And
she wasn't impressed by
I
that.
said, "Do you think we can do it?" And she just said, "I think that one day you'll find that you didn't take this job for granted enough." And that people will not pay you to do this forever.
And exactly, I agree with her. That's why we're doing it while we can.
Exactly.
Luca Lewis. We're talking about a balloon.
Yep. Yes, we are, Lewis. That's the subject.
Well, I don't want to lie to the listeners. What, you want to come on here and tell them that we're not about to talk about a balloon for 5
You're
minutes?
right, we
'Cause
are.
That would be dishonest.
Okay, so we set ourselves quite a big challenge yesterday, which was, could we do the entire radio show keeping a balloon off the ground?
Yes.
And we set a couple of rules. One rule being, should we, we're not just allowed to rest it on the table. I think anything more than 2 seconds on the table
Cheating.
is cheating. You can't just sit a balloon on the table. It doesn't count. And I think no more than 3 hits to yourself in a row. You can't just
Yeah.
tap it between yourself. You have to be hitting it between each other.
Yes.
Um,
This is a team sport.
It is. And I've got the balloon here.
Yep.
And
Nice white balloon.
yes. What do you reckon? I haven't blown it up yet. What do you reckon is the optimum level of like inflation that we want to go with?
I want like...
Because yesterday we were practicing with another balloon in here, and it was not nearly inflated enough, and it made it
Yeah.
a lot harder.
It needs to be quite inflated, so probably 1.5 the size of Mike's head.
One and a
Mike's
half
head's still
Mike's
quite
head.
big,
Oh.
but I think... like-
Human Shrek 0.5.
Yes.
With a little bit
yes, I think so.
Right.
Thanks, guys. That's
No worries, big head.
I did. While Luke,
You
likes
just
the-
called him Big Head like it was the best call you've ever made.
Yes, it
Was Big Head the best thing you can come up with?
Mate, blow
I'll
up.
give you 5 seconds to come up with a better insult.
All right,
One,
blow up your balloon.
2,
regular head.
Thr-
Got him.
there was a guy at school who used to always say I had a big head, and it hurt my feelings. So
Yeah.
thanks for bringing those memories back.
Hang on, I'm just walking around the desk to measure the balloon against Mike's head.
Yeah, okay. See, that's bigger than his head, I think.
Around at Michael's mic now.
Yeah.
Is that the same size as his head?
Yeah, that's a little bit bigger, so maybe a little bit more air, and then that'll be enough.
Where
Yeah.
will pop the balloon?
Perfect. Yeah, well, I think 1.5 Mike's head is way too big.
Yeah, so let it out a bit?
Yeah, a
Maybe
little
just go
bit.
one mic?
Yeah, yeah. That's enough. Yep.
Alright, one mic.
There we
Great.
go.
I'll do a tie. I'm rocking
Brilliant.
back round to my side of the desk now.
Yep. So Luke's back in his chair, and we've got a radio mic-sized balloon to punch for hours. This is going to be great.
You made it like we were just gonna, like the whole plan of this was just to punch Mike.
Oh, well, that was our
Figuratively
first
punch
idea.
Mike. No. So, someone going to start a timer? See how long we're going to do this for?
Well, tie up the balloon, and then we'll start the timer, and we'll see how long we can go for. The goal is for the rest of
a
the
couple
show.
of people before the show
Do you
suggested.
know how to tie a balloon?
Yeah, well, a
You're
couple
really
of people
struggling.
before the show said, "Oh, maybe you should have the balloon ready to go."
Yeah.
And I said, "Nah."
What do you think
I'm
about
not sure why though. I should
No.
have said, "Yeah."
that? Yeah. Do it.
Go, got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
We're ready.
All right.
Do
Ready?
you have a timer?
Are you ready with the timer,
Yeah, I've
Mike?
got a timer ready.
All right, brilliant.
3, 2, 1, and the balloon
Begin.
is in air.
Ooh,
And
mate,
now we
this is so
continue
full.
this for the next 2 hours while we talk about other things while pretending we're not hitting a balloon between each other. We need to slow it down, man.
Yeah, this is way too quick.
it up.
All right. Ooh. Okay,
just hit the
this
ground
is
really
Luke and
early.
Lewis on Triple M Modern Digital featuring a balloon. Update on the balloon. We are still tapping.
all.
Ooh, that
We've had a
was
few
close.
close calls in the song.
Yeah.
Because there's a speaker above Lewis's head. I kind of want to move you.
Yeah, it does
There's
make
a speaker
things...
above your head that's
Hang
making
on, let
this
me
more
move a little bit
difficult.
closer. Oh.
But it's also, we're sitting kind of close.
Yeah, the closer you get, the faster the balloon moves.
Yeah.
So the further away you are, it does make it a little bit simpler.
Now, Lewis, we've got to get on with the show. I mean, we are still going to keep tapping the balloon.
Yes, but I think we do want to talk about some other things.
Yes.
Even though this is incredibly
This
distracting.
is very distracting. All right.
But I wanted to talk about, Luke, at the radio station we have a website here called Prep Air that just has all of the current news simplified in case you want to talk about it.
Sorry, we're just still hitting a balloon.
It makes the news much more simplified, so, it's just basically a starting point if you want to talk about anything current.
Yes.
And,
Oh my god, the door's just touched the deck.
Now, something
2-second
that,
rule on the desk.
something that caught my eye was I'm going to have to read this. This is really difficult. Hang on.
Yeah.
That's all right. Here, hit the balloon to me, and then
Yeah.
I'll hit it back. All right. Here we go. Okay, let me read. Okay. So it was a thing by Prep Air. Mike's got the balloon here. It was a thing on the website where
I
they've
wonder
taken.
why our bosses said don't do this on air.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you guys might get distracted. Like, just a balloon.
Oh, feel free to pass it to me at any point, guys. I'm happy to help.
Guys, I've done my reading. All right. I'm ready to say words. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So.
We had a bit of a close call.
Guys, in the article, it had a shortened BuzzFeed list of things that women do in movies that are totally unrealistic. Now, the original BuzzFeed article had 17 things, but on our website, they've shortened it down to 2 things, to 10 things. Sorry. So what they've done is they've made the BuzzFeed list more tolerable by shortening it down. But reading it, 10 things are still heaps of things. So what I've done, Luke, to make it even better than that, is I've shortened it even further and I've bumped it down to 3 things. Would you like to hear 3 things that women do in movies that they don't do in real life?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
no. Because the fact that it's already been shortened means it was probably valued as fairly weak content.
Well, it's been shortened twice now, and
Right,
even
so
after my
have
shortening,
you got
this
the
list-
top 3 from the top 10 from the top 17?
Yes, and can I just tell you, still sucks.
Okay.
Number 1, they maintain their flawless makeup even in post-apocalyptic chaos.
Really?
Yeah. See, that wouldn't normally happen in real life. Isn't that interesting to talk about on the radio?
Yeah.
Number 2, they spend all their time together.
I mean,
just-
you're making fun of it like, oh, this is an interesting content, but we're talking about it.
It's the end of the week, but the start of Luke and Lewis
Check it out, check it out. Let's go.
on 1019
You ready?
The Fox.
Check it out, check it out. Let's go. It's Luke and Lewis on the Fox. We are back for an hour of power, aren't we, Luke?
Yes, we are 6 or 7 tonight, Lewis, and it's going to be a great show.
Oh, yes, I understand that you're still recovering from a ferocious curry.
Last night, my taste buds were tested, and I came out not the victor.
And, mate, this might surprise you, but I'm bringing a bit of sport news to the show.
I don't believe you.
Mate,
Prove it.
you know what else? I reckon I know more about it than you.
No!
It's Luke and Lewis. We're going to be talking about
No, you
sport
don't.
and curries after this. Luke and Lewis on the Fox. Luke Hidgel, are you ready? I've brought some sport stuff to the news. To the show.
Usually, if there is ever a sports discussion on this show, I would be bringing it and informing you about the sport, breaking down the rules, saying what a sport is,
Yes.
and you're just not into it. You never
Yes.
have been, never played
I
sport,
think
never
last time
probably
we
will.
talked about sport, I discovered there were 2 different rugby leagues. Is that what they're called?
No,
Like
2
games?
different types of rugby.
Ah, okay.
One
See?
is rugby league, one is rugby union.
I see. I learnt that and forgot it immediately.
Yeah, and you still can't wrap your head around the fact that there's 2 different types of rugby.
Call them something different. Now, I'm here to talk to you about the only kind of UFC. Are you up to date with what Conor McGregor's been doing?
Yes, Connor's been a naughty boy
Yeah.
lately.
Now, what's happened, Luke, is Conor McGregor, short backstory before this all happened, one fighter basically cornered Conor McGregor's friend, who's another fighter in a hotel. So Conor McGregor, instead of tweeting, "Hey, don't be mean to my mate," he flew from Ireland with 30 of his friends to America, ran into the Barclays Center, which is an arena, and ambushed that fighter in his tour bus, picked up a trolley. Again, instead of saying, "Hey, mate, don't do that," into his face.
It's the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, the old-fashioned way. He picked up a trolley, threw it through the bus's window, smashed the window, and hurt 2 fighters, cut them, so they can't fight in an upcoming UFC event, and then
Now,
got arrested.
Some people would argue that's more effective than a tweet. It sends a message.
It
I'm not
does.
saying it's the right message to send, but it certainly sends one,
It's
regardless.
better than a DM, for sure.
Yeah. he slid into his tour bus.
Now, Luke, the question that I've been battling with myself is now that Conor McGregor's sitting in a jail cell after doing this, I still can't decide whether he's a genius or that's the dumbest thing that he's ever done.
I just think he's stupid.
Really?
He's clearly got a lot of money, a lot of time on his hands after the Mayweather fight, and he's gone, I'll get the boys together, and fly over and get arrested. I mean, that was clearly the plan. You know what? I don't think it sounded like they had much of a plan, because I don't think they thought too far ahead of other than getting on the plane and bringing his friends to come and whatever they were going to do. They were like, let's get him. I don't think they actually thought until they got there, and I eventually just saw a trolley and went, this'll do.
Well,
It just seems like an unthought out plan.
Well, instead of throwing a trolley and going, "This'll do," he should have seen a contract for a fight and then gone, "This'll do," and then just signed it.
Yeah.
Then he could have fought it for real. No trolleys needed.
Yeah.
It's not WWE, mate. But here's the thing, Luke. I think that it could be a genius plan because name another UFC fighter other than Conor McGregor. Can you do that?
Yeah. Diaz.
Yep, Diaz. But they've already fought. Here's the thing. I'm thinking that Conor McGregor might have done this to the other fighter so that Conor becomes the villain. Everyone cares about this guy. His name's Khabib now. And now they want Khabib to fight Conor. So I think what Conor was doing, he's sniping.
Wait. So you're
He's
bringing
Severus
us...
Snape.
Yep,
from
I
Harry
get it.
Potter.
I got the reference.
The magician.
He's not a magician, he's a wizard.
That's true. Magicians
Lewis.
aren't real. Wizards are real.
The one time you bring sports content to the show, the only reference point you can make is a Harry Potter reference. That doesn't count.
What do you mean?
You could have related it perhaps to the recent ball tampering cricket scandal, where perhaps it could have been like, David Warner is trying to make himself look like the villain, so Steve Smith looks like a good guy.
Were you just speaking a different language then? Because I didn't understand anything you said.
Yeah, it was Mandarin. Lewis, this is a great one for people who work in customer service. They will be able to relate to this one. Last night I was out and about and in a rush before my show.
Yes.
Which is at Comedy Festival apparently.
Can you stop plugging the show, mate?
Shameless. So, I was really hungry before the show. I couldn't even think. I was like, I just need food now. There was a Korean restaurant next door to my venue, which is out on Flinders Street. It's at 7:30. And I was went
You
down-
better have a story. If this is just you talking about your show, I'm going to a song.
So, I went to this Korean restaurant and said I didn't really like anything. You know, I'm a plain Jane. I'm a fussy eater.
Yeah, I was going to say Korean restaurant.
Yeah.
That's a big risk.
I was desperate. Yeah, so I went to the thing. I was like, what's the most basic thing in the menu? And the most basic thing was curry and rice. Well, sometimes...
Never get a curry, man.
Well,
That's
sometimes...
danger zone.
Well, the curry shop near your house doesn't have spice. It doesn't spicy curry. It's mild curry, and I like that. But... So I asked her, I was like, hey, is it spicy? And she goes, we don't worry, we have a non-spicy one. But before that, she was like, is it takeaway? And I was like, yeah, I'll be getting takeaway. And she goes, yeah, we can do a non-spicy one.
No, because curry is made in a pot. So they can't take the spice out. So she checked. You were like, hey, is there spice in it? And she was like,
Are you
depends.
going to
Are
be
you
leaving?
going to be here after you eat it, or
Yeah.
no? Oh, well then, no. It's
And-
made out of gold too.
Yeah, and sure enough, I got to my venue and started eating backstage. And
How long before the show were you eating it?
about 5-10 minutes. I was running pretty late. And oh boy, this was the spiciest curry I've ever had. Lied to me. Straight up lied.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll do a mild one.
Like, did it affect the show?
Oh, well, I was on stage, just my eyes were watering for the first 5 minutes. People thought I was crying, and I just had to explain that I had a curry and I can't handle it.
Sorry, guys, I'm not crying. I've just had the most unprofessional choice of food.
Yes.
And it's affecting you.
Yeah, but it wasn't my fault. I mean, it was a little my fault for not
No,
for
she
trusting
lied
the
to
lady.
you.
I put my trust in her.
But here's the thing. I think, Luke, that people lying to customers, it's something that happens all the time. Like, I used to work in a call center, and we would fib all the time. Here's a classic lie we would tell customers. Look,
No, the biggest call center lie just from being a customer is, don't worry, this will only take a few minutes. Boom.
yeah,
Number one lie.
We'll answer your call shortly.
Yeah.
This is the one that I used to hear. They went, look, I understand your concern, and I would be upset too.
Yeah. That ain't
That's a
care.
big fib. So we were thinking, guys, give us a call on 131060. When have you lied to a customer?
I used to lie to people all the time. I used to work at a golf course, and I know nothing about golf. I'm not a golfer.
Yeah.
Don't really play golf.
Well,
and
you worked like behind the bar.
People used to call me up on the golf course, going, "Hey mate, how many meters till the third hole? Also, what club preference should I use? Like, what club do you
They'd
suggest?"
ask for golf.
And I'm like, "Mate, you're looking at the third hole right now. You're on the course. You're a better judge of that, right? Me, I'm staring at a fridge and I'm trying to serve customers. Then I'll just be like, 200 meters, mate, 4-iron, and then hang up."
Luke, you were recently lied to.
I was lied to last night. I went to a Korean restaurant and I said, "Hey, I'm not really into spicy food. I can't handle it. And is this a mild curry?" And she said, "Yeah, of course, we can do a mild curry for you." Had takeaway. After I left the restaurant, came home and, at my show, had their Korean and for her boy. That was a spicy curry.
Yeah.
Nothing mild about that curry. Like, there was no mistake. She just lied.
Yeah,
straight
she
to my
betrayed
face.
you. And I think that people lying to customers is something that happens all the time. When I worked in call centers for customer service, classically when we would tell people like, yeah, we'll definitely pass that feedback on to our manager. If I walked up to my manager and I was like, "Hey, I've got some feedback," he would laugh at me. So that was what we always told them. And we've got a couple of callers. Cara, welcome to the show. What lies have you told your customers?
There are so many lies we've told customers.
What do you work in first, Cara?
I work in a telco company.
Right.
So, yeah, with phones and things like that. And we've actually told customers to, like, leave their phones in store. We'll see what we can do for you. And they've come back in a couple of days, picked the phone up, and we've absolutely done nothing. We've just left it in the back room because they just won't leave the store.
So you just say, yeah, with so many people at the back are just working away at your phone, and then just sitting there. You just sit there playing Angry Birds on it.
Look, you get those customers that are just a pain sometimes, and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I do
Some customers
understand that.
have even, like, agreed with us. The phone's totally fixed, and we've absolutely done nothing. So it's
Oh,
always
well.
good prepared sometimes.
There you go. So placebo works on phones as well. All right, thanks, Cara. And Jameson, what's a lie that you told a customer?
So I work at a cafe in the city, and if we're really busy and you ask for skinny milk, there's 99% chance you are not going to get it.
Oh, I didn't know this. I'm shocked
I
by
knew this. I know people who work at cafes, and they don't. Why would they stock it?
Really?
So we do stock it, but if we're busy, we'll just do jugs of